But back then, we all disliked each other.
Well, that's what you want, though.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah.
And the play was so high level. Guys were flying around. It sounded like gunshots were going off when you were hitting each other. Explosions. Like it was fast.
But that's football.
Violent football at the highest level. And yeah, when we won our first final against the Blitz, I couldn't enjoy it. I was more relieved. The second one, I cried like a baby.
Because it's like, we're here now.
We're here. I can enjoy it. Yeah. You know, this wasn't... I couldn't stop it. I was so exhausted. I think in that one, I dislocated and broke my elbow.
Welcome to the Exs and Os podcast.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. To be fair, we just like to keep it natural, so we haven't really done an intro. So welcome to Exs and Os podcast. Myself, Mr. Selenke, we've had Paris on. The Bronze Bombers in the building as well. Behind the screen.
Huh?
You've got the legend that is Bama, man.
Hey, your
the
boy
general,
Bama.
The president.
Your boy.
Vic Bam.
Hey.
So a lot of people would have known the name. A lot of people would have heard about you. A lot of people would have, known that you're semi-royalty when it comes to playing American football in the UK.
You can say that. You can say that. A lot of people say that.
But you said something earlier. You mentioned the Surrey Stingers. I didn't know you played for those guys, but I don't know if there's anything before that story. How did you get into American football?
Yeah. So, a lot of people don't know this, actually. So this is a breaking exclusive. Yeah. X's and Os.
Come on.
You know what it is. I actually started off at the Blitz.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man.
Yeah, I promise you. I started off at the Blitz. I went down because I'm from Hackney.
Was this before the rivalry? Because I think it'll be unheard of for someone to
it was definitely before the rivalry.
The Blitz to the Warriors now and vice versa.
No, it was definitely before the rivalry. I was 16, 17 then. So I think the Warriors were a youth team back then.
Okay, then. Cobras?
Huh?
Cobras is what they were called, right? London Cobras?
No, the youth team was always London Warriors.
Okay, fair.
The youth team was always London Warriors. The Cobras come later. But no, I was down at the Blitz, but I just didn't get any attention. Yeah. I didn't pass the eye test back then. I went.
You're an inch.
Yeah, I weren't big, weren't particularly tall.
Yeah.
There are others that were at that age that time, so they just got more attention. Went for a few sessions.
Weren't really still playing O-line?
Huh? No, I don't even think at that level like the positions were even defined like that, to be fair. So yeah, I went for a few sessions, got no love, no attention. And I suppose you need a little bit right at the start. Yeah. Like just a little bit of attention.
To keep you,
But yeah, I didn't get that. So stopped, went to uni, and this was Surrey. So I played for the Surrey Stingers.
Did you go to uni wanting to play American football?
No. Absolutely not. I didn't pick my uni on American football. Like that's not what. Nah, I picked it on education. Yeah. On league tables.
Fair enough.
Like now, you get a lot of really good unis that are also good American football places. But yeah, back then, my priority was education. So, I went to Surrey University. I met Ricard. Shout out Ricard, Big Rick. And he brought me down to the London Warriors. Okay. And that's literally how my journey with the Warriors started. But yeah, I played for Surrey for a year. Shout out the Surrey Stingers each and every time. Shout out the London Warriors each and every time. So Surrey played for a year, but that's when I started with the Warriors. And I was a fullback with the Warriors at first.
So you're a fullback at Surrey and then?
At Surrey, I was a fullback / Mike. I played middle linebacker as well. But I think at the Warriors, they just sort of work out what's best for you. So I was a fullback. We were in Division 1 then.
Yeah. Did you get any carries?
Minimal. People don't know that. People think you just walk in and you start and then they get upset when they don't play at the start. It's not that. You've got to be patient. So I was a fullback. Division 1. We absolutely steamrolled everyone. We played the Division 1 final against the East Kilbride Pirates.
Yeah.
I did not see the field.
That's crazy.
Did not see the field. We won. It was a close-fought game. Mm-hmm. But back then, our running backs, we had Victor Mohammed.
Jermaine.
We had Jermaine Allen.
Angry.
Yeah. We had Jermaine Allen as well. So, if you know Jermaine Allen,
big time.
He played for the Chicago Bears and the Saints practice. Yeah. So, obviously, I wasn't going to get in there ahead of them.
That's madness. But to even learn from someone like Jermaine Allen and Victor Mohammed must be a blessing as well.
Absolutely. We had another running back called the VAR. The VAR's probably one of the best running backs I've ever seen in person.
Wow.
Like his jump cuts like spin guys out of their loafers. It was crazy. He stopped playing shortly after. Like no human knees can survive the toll. Yeah, the toll that he was doing when he was just jump cutting. So, on the way back to London from the final, I remember asking Coach Allen, "How do I play?" Because I didn't play. He's like, "You're too small. You're too small. Man. Get bigger." So I went away, got bigger, and when I come back, they said, "You know what? Let's have a look at you on the line." Wow. And straight away they wanted me to play centre, but I couldn't snap. You can't never play centre in your life. Never snap a ball to snap in with someone in like a zero tech over you, and you're hearing plays and the snap count's being changed and your head goes.
Yeah, so it's a lot to try and take in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I played guard my first year on the O-line. I was surrounded by some amazing O-linemen. Kev, shout out Big Kev, came from Farnham Knights, DC, Farnham Knights. Alex Phillips, amazing centre. Ben Peddy. I was surrounded by superstars. Ricard on that Warriors O-line.
Ben Peddy played for a while as well, didn't he?
Ben Peddy, yeah. Shout out Peds. Portsmouth Destroyers. National Championship winner with them. First year guard. Second year I moved to centre. I just spent the whole year snapping in my own free time.
Yeah, just in your room.
In my room, in the kitchen, breaking plates, windows, snapping, hitting family members.
So everybody getting to be right for the season, man.
And no, I came back. And that was it. I was centre, big 50.
Didn't look back. And I'm 6 foot. I prided myself on my strength. Yeah. Like I was always in the gym, lifting everything I could lift. Deadlifting the planet. Were you coached to do that, or was that a personal thing? Because in the modern game now, a lot of people don't respect or rate or understand the importance of actually going to the gym to be a decent athlete in our sport.
London Warriors. Yeah. Each and every time, shout out the Warriors. They just teach you at the highest level, you've got to take this thing seriously. Yeah. And I think that's what separates teams, is that you can play some teams where just not everyone's in the gym. Yeah. There'll be teams we play, every time we played the Blitz, all of them were in the gym. Yeah. You could tell. It's how they were built, how they could keep going. Yeah. They were all in the gym. We were all in the gym. We played Bristol at that time. You could tell Bristol were in the gym. Whereas other teams you play, you could see some of their players having cigarettes at halftime.
Yeah, by fourth quarter, they're puffing.
Yeah, by fourth quarter, by second quarter, they're puffing.
That's crazy, man. So,
at the Warriors, it was always important that you take care of your body, that your body was prepared. Yeah. That's definitely a Warrior thing.
That's crazy, man. So, playing centre for the Warriors, how was life like in the trenches? Because I don't play on the line, but I hear it gets nasty in there sometimes. Man.
Absolutely. And any lineman will tell you the same thing. It's violent. Yeah. You form a bond with your guards, your other linemen. Yeah. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of back and forth between, O-line and D-line. Yeah. Even linebackers as well. That like love to blitz. Back then, they were always sending someone. You'd always say, meet me in the A gap. Meet me in the A gap.
I see you there, man.
Yeah, exactly. I see you there. There's a lot of back and forth, especially at the top level with with ones that back themselves. Yeah. And to be fair, the biggest challenge was training. Okay. The London Warriors have some amazing D linemen as well. Yeah. And more time training was a lot tougher than games.
That's crazy. But that's how you want it to be, because it prepares you more mentally and physically for the games.
Completely.
Who was the toughest D lineman that you would say in Britain, anyways?
In Britain, I'm always gonna shout out. I'm completely biased. I make no qualms about it. Yeah. London Warriors each and every time. But no, if I just not talk about the Warriors for a minute and I talk more broadly, Jamie Charles at the Blitz. Yeah. Shout out Jamie Charles. I hated Jamie Charles for a long time. I'm sure he disliked me as well. He can pretend he didn't. I'm sure he did. We had a lot of good battles in there. This guy, he's strong as an ox.
The worst thing, you look at Jamie Charles and think, this guy can't be a tackle. And then you see him mashing work.
Yeah, because do you know what it is? It's because he's so small, height-wise, he can't be more than, and if I get this wrong, apologies, can't be more than 5'10". Yeah. In cleats. Yeah. No, in cleats. Take off the cleats, it's probably shorter. But he was so quick off the ball, and he backed himself.
Yeah.
And when you're that big, you expect ball rushes all the time. He was able to use his hands. So I loved going up against him because I play best when I'm angry.
Yeah.
And he would do little things that would set me off. Yeah, you know, things that good linemen do. They do little things they pull your face cage a bit. They might throw a little thing here and there. That's all I think he learned that I played better when I was set off, so he stopped doing that down the line. So I'll shout out Jamie Charles as probably one of the greats. Blitz had a few guys back then as well. Who else? Bristol had some good inside guys as well. Shout out Snowman, Snowman for the O's. Yeah. He's always been good as well. He was a big body. He won't tell you this. He came down and done a London Warriors camp once.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he won't tell you this. David Beckham Academy indoors. I'm gonna throw you out there. Yeah. Snowman.
The question's gonna be asked, Snowman.
Yeah. I think the intensity is something he weren't expecting. Or if he was expecting it, he wasn't prepared for it. But he's someone that, you know, with a big body, and he knew what to do with it. So yeah, I appreciate going up against him as well.
You know, when players play like Jamie Charles and they do all the little things that aren't allowed, but you get away with in American football, does that get on your nerves? And you think after the game, I'm going to see you?
No.
Now you get divas that are like, oh, you pulled my face cage, blah, blah, blah. So
yeah, but those guys are actors. Like all of that off the field stuff is you know, it sounds nice. So and you know what, this helped in later life I was a prison officer. Yeah. And you get a lot of threats thrown at you in jail.
You can imagine.
And funnily, all of these threats I'd heard on the field, these fake shadow threats that boded me well for when I was on the wing, and prisoners are saying, oh, where are you from? I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. Like, I'm used to hearing threats. Yeah. So I literally, when I was threatened in jail, I'd be like, oh, really? What else? What else? Oh, is that? Yeah.
Cool. So when you go back to your room and I confiscate your TV.
Exactly that. When I come to your cell and it's just us two, oh, God, I was only messing around. Like, I was only joking with you. So, yeah, people that just, you might give their face mask a bit of a tug, or you know, you might hold on the inside and then they start talking all that good stuff. It just means they're getting beat and they're losing their head. Yeah. So and to be fair, I done it. There's so many like things you can do that happen in those trenches that you'll get away with it because officials
will rile up the other your opponent.
Shout out the Baffer officials each and every time. But there's some things that happen in there that they just can't see. So I would do it, they would do it. There's certain things that, you know, it's just like there's a brotherhood, lineman brotherhood you don't do. If there's a big pile, you don't push a lineman over the pile. He could seriously hurt himself, blow his knee out, break a limb. At the lower levels...
So there's a code of conduct, essentially.
There is. At the highest level, I know with me, there are multiple times that I could have done some damage, but as much as I don't like you, I'm not trying to affect your life in that aspect. So
you're not getting paid for this, guys.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
I hear it. So you mentioned your first championship game against EKP where you didn't get a snap, but you know you got the ring, you got the medal. When was the next one, and how was that feeling to actually have an impact in winning the national?
Yeah. So Division 1 final with East Kilbride Pirates, and they were a hell of a team. Yeah. Shout out the East Kilbride Pirates, Sharky, all them boys. Like they are men, and we were a very young team back then. Yeah. So our Prem final after that, we lost 2 Prem finals in a row to the Blitz.
Was that year after year? So back to back?
Back to back.
Oof, that must have hurt.
Back to back. Yeah. The first one, I think I was injured and I didn't play.
Okay.
Second one, I played.
So imagine that, playing 2 finals, not playing a snap and still coming back with a ring and a medal. It's not bad.
It's not bad, but losing 2 finals in a row, you don't want a hat trick.
Yeah.
You don't want a hat trick. The first time we beat Blitz in a Prem final, I remember I couldn't really enjoy it. I was just relieved.
Oh, because you just
didn't want to lose 3 finals in a row.
Oh, so this was the third time.
This was the third final. You don't want to. We beat, and since then, when we won that, we just won the finals after that. Like second final.
That was the kickstart. That was
that was it. That was almost like the changing of the guard. And I really dislike, like a lot of Warriors back then, and I'm sure a lot of Blitz vice versa. You had Sam Obi and Bish on here
Yeah.
previously. Both my guys. Shout out Oliver Bishop each and every time, Sam Obi. I've got a fun story about how I started speaking to Bish. But back then, we all disliked each other.
Well, that's what you want, though.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah.
And the play was so high level. Guys were flying around. It sounded like gunshots were going off when you were hitting each other. Explosions. Like it was fast.
But that's football.
Violent football at the highest level. And yeah, when we won our first final against the Blitz, I couldn't enjoy it. I was more relieved. The second one, I cried like a baby.
Because it's like, we're here now.
We're here. I can enjoy it. Yeah. You know, this wasn't... I couldn't stop it. I was so exhausted. I think in that one, I dislocated and broke my elbow.
No way.
And stayed on. I think just some coding, stayed on.
You dislocated your elbow
and
stayed on?
Yeah, I remember, I didn't know it was dislocated at the time.
You just thought...
And I remember going back in and it was still mad. But it was the final... I went saving myself.
Yeah.
I mean, after this game, you've got nothing for months, so...
Yeah. You'll heal up before next next season.
So definitely that second one was emotional. Then we were just winning after that. We were just winning.
How do you guys maintain that level of just being good? Because like you said, you know, the Blitz beat you twice, and then, you know, I believe in cycles. I believe, you know, no one's going to be good forever. In my opinion, it's just physically impossible. There's going to be a cycle of you dipping. How do you guys ensure that you guys are still at the peak of that cycle?
Do you know what's interesting about cycles? If you look at Britball and you look at the cycles in Britball, there's been cycles, but there's always a consistent thing in those cycles. Do you know what it is?
No.
Don't know what it is? It's coaching. If you look at a lot of the top programs, the same coach has been at the top of all of these teams.
Yeah.
And that's Tony Allen. If we're looking at cycles, whether we're looking at Ravens, Olympians back when they were winning things, like Bar Blitz, it's Tony Allen. Tony Allen's been, Tony Allen, Jerry Anderson, like the cycles, you're right, it's cycled different teams, but there's been the same people at the top. So it might cycle with the teams.
That is crazy. I've never ever thought of it like that.
That's a fact. Tony Allen, each and every time, shout. He's done so much for me as an athlete, as a professional.
Yeah.
In terms of how I've developed as a man, and he develops people.
So talk to us about Tony Allen's brain then, because that is mind-boggling. Because you're right, there are cycles, and bar the Blitz, the consistent factor is Tony Allen. What makes him such a great footballing brain?
I'm definitely underqualified to say what makes him a great footballing brain.
Yeah.
Maybe someone that's a great footballing brain can answer that a lot better. I can only talk about his impact on me.
Yeah.
And I've seen the impact he has on other people. It's just he wants people to be held to account, and he wants you to hold yourself to account.
Yeah.
He wants you to just give everything that you have, and he wants you to get better 1% every day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's as simple as that. And he surrounds himself with amazing coaches. The Tony Allen coaching tree is vast.
Yes.
Like, he surrounds himself with great coaches and builds great programs. And you can see it. All of these cycles, the different clubs, there's the same people at the top of it. And that's something that doesn't get enough light. I'm putting light on that today. But with the Warriors, it's the same. Like, he does a great job of motivating people to get into the gym, to want to strive to be the best. Yeah. And that's something that happens because of it.
Yeah. And I guess that's why you can't argue when the NFL are knocking and like, we want this guy to be the head coach of the academy.
NFL Academy, shout out the NFL Academy each and every time, you know.
Come on.
Got that. You know, I rarely wear this hat, but I thought I'd bring it out for today to represent them. Don't get me wrong, there are other academies available.
Yeah. All
right, NFL Academy, my one, but there are other academies available.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, if you want and I'm completely biased because I've been with the Warriors all my playing career. If you want the best UK coach, maybe best isn't the right word, the most decorated, one of the most respected.
He's got a CV for it. So.
There we go. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah, exactly that.
Then it's got to be Tony Allen. So he's coaching, head coach at the academy. All the other coaches underneath him, my ex-teammates. You've got Jerome Allen, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. Now, doing good exactly. Russ Hewitt, superstar.
Russ Hewitt is such an underrated coach, man.
He's done so much in this game, like throughout the ranks.
Yeah.
Superstar.
From grassroots all the way up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gavin Collins, he made me into the O-lineman that I was.
Okay.
Like,
Did Gavin coach at the Warriors?
He was O-line coach at the Warriors. He's now coaching line at the academy. All of them, like, no disrespect to anyone I'm leaving that. Like, most of them are my ex-teammates, so they're nice, all love. But that's the academy coaching's amazing. That's why they will pump out amazing athletes, and they are pumping out amazing athletes. They've had stories of kids going out to high school and college already.
Yeah.
So
every week there's a new offer going out to one of those kids, which is brilliant to hear.
Yeah, they're doing well. I think the pandemic has hit them hard.
I can imagine,
because they haven't been able to play games. They've had scrimmages against each other.
Yeah, we've seen those.
And they've got good film from that. And they've been blessed because they've got such good bodies. They've been able to get offers off practice film.
Yeah. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, like you say, sometimes those practices against each other are probably going to be more tougher than playing against anyone else. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like they can run a full schedule of competing against academies all over the country.
Exactly that.
There's outside of Filton, shout out Filton Pride, outside of them, I don't know other academy setups that are to that tier.
Yeah. Do we need more of them?
Do we need more of them? I was going to say, let's do these ones properly, and we are. Filton have been successful.
Yeah, very.
The academy, been around for 2 years now.
It's doing its part.
It's doing its part, you know? The biggest thing for me is that young people are able to get a good education. Playing football is nice and all that.
Yeah.
It's great, helmets and shoulder pads and stash, that's good and all that, but you need to be able to go to a place that will give you a good education alongside that. Yeah. Because I'm still young. I'm 31. Yeah. Although there might be some youngers watching this going, oh, you're old.
You're old now, man.
Yeah. I played for 10 years, but luckily I've got a degree, I've got a master's, and I've had a good professional career that's led me to the point I am today where, I can be comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's all because of education. Because you got to value education. If you don't, and you just put everything into football, and don't get me wrong, I was able to professionally do well professionally because of football as well. A lot of, working for the NFL Academy. Yeah. A lot of the stuff I'd done, supporting the NFL games when they came over in London, like, it's all been great professionally. But you just got to prioritize your education alongside. Yeah, and normally the people that do both, they tend to excel in both places as well.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more. Let's go back to you for a moment. So you won that for the third final against the Blitz. Didn't look back. Where does GB come into the conversation?
Shout out the GB Lions, each and every time. Mike Callan, Fitzpatrick, these are great coaches. Always makes me laugh because they're Blitz coaches. So although I've got that back and forth with Blitz, massive shout out to those. They're great coaches and done a great job putting together good teams for the national setup. I got a Facebook message from Mike Callan. I hope I'm remembering this properly. And he sort of said he'd watched film and seen me play and wanted me to come to camp. Mm-hmm. At that time, you didn't get a lot of Warriors going to GB.
Why was that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you know what? No holds barred on this.
Yeah.
Everything's on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We're on
Big
the Exs and Os
Bama,
podcast.
Exs and Os.
Yeah.
Why weren't there a lot of GB Warriors at GB? A couple reasons. Number one, I think we were so used to the high level of coaching we had at the Warriors.
Yeah.
We're literally being coached by ex-NFL personnel.
Yeah.
Like coming over, running camps, clinics.
Yeah.
Tony Allen's already highly regarded. We had Coach Adam Durd as well. Like Marvin Allen, shout out Marvin Allen each and every time. Like it's funny, he's the one that got me to snap properly. We had a camp up north. Crazy. And I couldn't snap quick enough. He stuck it on me. Like, get him out of here.
That guy can coach every position then.
Of course, you could probably play any position if you wanted to. Yeah, he just chewed me out, and I went away and said, I'm never gonna get chewed out like that again. And I went and got right, and I came back, and I done my thing, and that's down to him. So shout out Marvin Allen each and every time. But we had such amazing coaching at the Warriors. We just didn't think we would be getting better at GB. If we went, it wouldn't be to be getting better. It wouldn't be to be getting any better coaching. And we didn't know what coaching was over there. We just know it was blitz.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Did that play a part?
That leads on to point number 2. So first one was coaching. Number 2 was that we thought it was political. The whole setup was blitz. Yeah. The whole setup. They had hella blitz players at GB. It was at the time where Warriors and blitz were not. Yeah. We did not like each other. I wasn't really trying to go there and be surrounded by ops. Guys, by the opposition. So yeah, that was it. And I just don't think I know I certainly didn't just value the opportunity at that time. Yeah.
Even though it was playing for a national country?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that a thing that was spread down from senior players down to us? That's why you felt like that? Was it a case of the coaches were like, you can go there if you want, but it's not going to be Warriors coaching?
No, the coaches would never say, and I want to put that out there, coaches would never say, oh, the coaching's going to be rubbish there, don't go. The decision solely on players. Okay. We knew the coaching we had at the Warriors and the coaching at GB. I think it's, if you wanted to go, they'd be like, go, just don't get injured. Yeah. Because if you get injured and you can't play and you lose your spot, that's on you. Yeah. And Warriors were flying at the time. If you started for the Warriors, it was fair to say you were in the top 2 in your position in the country if you were starting at the Warriors.
That's crazy.
And if I say the top 2, maybe the other one's at the Blitz, or maybe the other one's second in your depth chart at your own team. So, yeah, it was political. And to be fair, and this is where my hat comes off to Coach Callan, I don't think back then they'd done a good job of reaching across the line to the best players. Yeah. I think it was always, GB camp supply. The best players didn't play. If you ask me, back then the best players did not play for GB.
And that's because they weren't applying. So you only
weren't applying.
You're already limited who you can.
That's right. Yeah. And the year I went, I know they were proactively. The coaches were now going out and hollering at the best players.
As it should be, in my opinion.
As it should. I agree. Yeah. It weren't just like waiting to see who comes and then picking the best players. It was like, no, do you know what? Across the Premiership season, we've seen the best players. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go and hit them up and say, look, come and rep.
Yeah. So I've always said, and some people hate me for saying this, I feel like, so everyone that watches soccer or normal football, you're not gonna get people that represent England playing in the Championship or Division 1 or Division 2. I've always said, if you want to represent your country, you should be playing in the Premiership because it's the top level. So when I hear that coaches are saying, oh yeah, we got this guy from Div 2, he might be a stud, but if he's not playing against the best, why is he being selected?
Do you know what? I get the logic. I don't think it's always correct, but I completely get the logic. The level of competition in the Prem is higher, or you'd think logically, because it's the Premiership. In any sport, it should be higher than the subsequent levels below, right? Yeah. So yeah. Why would, off that logic, why would you have a Division 2 player in the GB squad? But there are certain cases where you've had amazing players playing a lower level for one reason or another that, they can compete at the highest level.
That's fair enough.
But it's en masse, it's not, you're completely right. It's not.
Because you're right, because I get the whole application thing, but I just feel like as a coach, if I'm looking at tape, and I can see this centre killing everyone in Division 2, but I've got this centre. He might not be killing everyone in the Premiership, but he's doing a good job. I'm gonna think, actually, hold on, he might not be doing a good job might not be doing the greatest job in the Prem, but he's playing the tackles that are going hell for leather every single down.
Absolutely. But what you might want to do is invite him down to camp and have a look at him.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, you might go, you've got a centre in the Prem that's all right. Yeah. And you've got a centre in Division 2 that's smoking everyone. You're like, do you know what? I'll invite him down and have a look at him and see if he can smoke everyone when he's got Premiership D tackles in front of him. And if not, then you're like, it's because you're D2. So You know, you can come down. If he's starting at GB now and we're running out against Germany and you got the Division 2 centre and he's just he's getting spun. He's a turnstile,
then
could have quarterback getting lit up like a Christmas tree.
Then you know. But no, I agree with you, and I'm happy that it got to a point where Matt Callan was like, you know, we can't just rely on these applications. I need to do my own due diligence and look at the tape physically with my own eyes. And start handpicking guys that I believe should be good enough for camp and invite them down to camp.
Completely. And I don't know whose idea if it was him. I know, shout out Wayne Hill each and every time. Yeah, superstar. And he should be royalty as well. If we're putting
I think
names up in royalty, he needs to be up there as well. He called up a lot of the Warriors defense. We had the best defense in the country. Yeah. Biased, obviously. He called up a lot of the guys, reached out to them. You know, so the whole setup then was reaching out to the best players, and it was no more just waiting on who applied.
Is that what broke the mold? Is that what made you guys think, actually, hold on, now they're a little bit more serious now. Let's give this a try and see what happens.
I wouldn't say a little bit more serious.
Okay.
you know.
But they tried harder.
Yeah, and I felt the love.
Yeah.
I felt the love. It's very clinical at the Warriors. There's not, you know, it's a profession.
Yeah.
Fun is secondary. Winning is the most important thing. It's being bettering yourself and winning.
Yeah.
Some people get fun from winning. A lot of us, we had fun after we won.
There you go. I was going to say, you say it's not fun, it's about winning, but you have fun when you're winning. Nobody likes losing. So.
If you're getting smoked, do you think we're having... If we got smoked and I'm looking around and some of my teammates are laughing and joking, I'm sorry.
In the wrong place, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I wouldn't be doing my job as a leader to not call you out on that.
Yeah.
You know, we'd be playing teams, we'd be up 30 at the half and we would be getting roasted by Marvin or Coach Tony Allen. Like, it's about perfection. It's about having the perfect game. It's about always putting the best version of you forward.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was just me trying to have the perfect game. Not literally striving for the perfect game. I could have an amazing game, but
I still want to make it perfect.
Yeah, like a snap might have been slightly to the left, or I might have released the ball a bit late, or I might have, you know, I made a block, but it could have been better. I could have got upfield quicker. And I'd be like, that game was rubbish. Because regardless, we'd be beating teams 40, 50. So it was just like having the perfect game was the aim at the end of it. Yeah. I really enjoyed playing at the end because that's when we were going out in Europe, playing Frankfurt Galaxy and Swarco Raiders, playing for GB against Czech Republic and Russia. Yeah, that was enjoyable.
Did he prefer playing in Europe in comparison to playing against guys in Britball? Or?
Absolutely.
Why is that? Because the level was just another notch up.
The level was higher. You had crowds. When we played Frankfurt, there was like 15 to 20,000 people in that.
15 to 20,000.
Yeah,
people.
And you know what? I tell you what. Funny story. We we played Frankfurt. We went out to Germany. I think they'd just got promoted from GFL 2 to GFL 1.
Yeah.
And I think in the GFL setup, if I'm wrong, apologies, they have a playoff game. The GFL 2 team that's won promotion plays the team that's going down.
Yeah, and whoever wins stays up.
Yeah, but the team going down, they pulled out. Okay. So they hit up the Warriors and said, look, do you want to play this game? Why not? So they went out there. I know we missed quite a few players, but we still went out there.
Probably been a bit pricey, you know.
And we we went out there. The stadium was packed. It was mad, absolutely mad. 20,000 people. I saw they had this American nose tackle that was warming up, making hella noises. I was gassed. I was like, yeah, he's over me. Okay.
That's good though. Some centers would have been like, I'm not sure about this one, coach.
Nah, not me.
That's
I was
quality.
gassed because I was tired of playing the few Britball noses that just weren't doing the business.
Yeah.
You know, and me personally, I want to go up against the best.
Yeah.
If I get smoked, at least I know where my ceiling is.
That's it. Yeah.
So, yeah, the first play of the game, we scored a touchdown.
The first play?
First play. Unless I'm remembering this wrongly, we scored. Can't remember who scored it. I feel like it might have been a sweep. We scored. The stadium went quiet.
Damn.
15 to 20, 15K They were
And all of them
buzzing
would have
loud.
been Frankfurt
Festivals.
fans, innit?
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah. Frankfurt. It was a festival in there. We scored. They went quiet. And we were celebrating. Then we were like, oh,
Should we be
should
celebrating?
yeah.
These guys hate us.
And then they scored.
Went loud
And
again.
they have hella sponsors
Yeah.
in Frankfurt. I think Smart Car was one of the sponsors. And when this is the thing that made me laugh. When they scored, the receiver he ran to the Smart Car, got into the Smart Car.
You're lying.
And pretended to drive the Smart Car after he scored.
Oh my
in the end
goodness
zone.
me. That's a spectacle though.
We were like, what? I was so upset, but at the same time, I was like,
this is mad.
This is mad. This is what you want to, at the highest level, this is what you want to be playing.
Because you're putting on a show. Even though you're playing American football, you're putting on a show for the people.
That's right. The stadium was going mad. We don't want to be scoring touchdowns in a park and step on dog poo and you're like, oh, that's a celebration.
And no one can score in us. It's like, what's the fun? Like, give us a battle.
Yeah, like you're scoring and then like you get flagged because you're celebrating too hard.
Yeah.
My man got into the Smart Car and tried to start the engine. I think they had to go and tell him to chill out.
That's funny though.
So definitely playing in Europe, I would say I would put that above playing against some of the teams in Britain.
So what stopped you from doing a stint out in Europe?
Good question. Why didn't, and especially after the GB tournament, European tournament we had in Worcester, I got quite a few offers, teams in France, Serbia, all over Europe. I got one GFL offer as well. Shout out Euro players. But the pay, they're not, unless you're an American, the bread isn't. It's not that. And I mentioned I've gone through university. I've done very well professionally for myself.
So I've got some form of professional name in
So I'm not trying to leave a very well-paying job for a year or part of the year to go and earn,
and put
a free gym.
Put your body on the line, by the way.
Yeah, and all you're getting out there is free accommodation, a gym membership, lunch, dinner, lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and like £200 a month.
That's it. Nah.
Am I a kid?
Nah, it's not.
For the young, if you're coming out of uni and you haven't established yourself,
it's like an extension of university.
There you go. But no, I'm a grown man. I'm not out here like you're £200 a month, and I'm
in nothing. You want to at least go there and be like, okay, I've stacked up and saved a little bit to come back.
Yeah,
but £200 a month. Come on.
Don't get me wrong. Some people there are a lot of British players that played out there that they
and a decent living.
Decent living because they've made reputations for themselves out there. They've played at the best level and they're superstars. Timothy Thomas, shout out TT each and every time. I'm sure Glenn's made a name for himself out there as well. That's why I didn't go out to Europe. I've always done well professionally, and it didn't make sense. Playing over here, I could play on the weekends, train during the week, and then still have my 9 to 5 and earn a good living and propel myself professionally. Whereas out in Europe, financially, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You eventually became the captain at the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
How did that feel like?
Do you know what? Amazing.
After years of being like, coach, how do I get playing time? How do I do this and learning a new position?
Well, funny story. It went Coach Allen. It went Tony Allen that made me captain. He actually went. He coached. Tony Allen coached at Swarco Raiders for a year.
Okay. And
during that year, Coach Adam Durd, who's defensive coordinator now D-line coach for the Cowboys. Shout out Ad. He was head coach, and he made me captain.
Wow.
And it was amazing. This is a club I'd been with all my playing career. I knew everyone. Yeah. I was a leader on the line. I had amazing bodies next to me. Shout out KK as well again, Kevin. He's always a leader that I learned a lot from. Yeah. DC as well, Alex Phillips. He was always magic at calming me down whenever I was losing my head. So I could pick bits from all my teammates and stuff I'd learned and be, impactful as a leader of the Warriors. When I went to GB, I was captain as well. So the coaches, shout out Coach Callan, must have saw something in me as well. Yeah. But no, it's amazing because you can, lead by example.
Yeah.
You can lead by example, and that's probably one of the most important things for me. You can be as vocal as you want, but if you're not doing the works, then what are you really doing?
Yeah, that makes sense. And your favourite quarterback to snap to? There must have been a few over the years.
There's been a few, but to be fair, I probably snapped to Jerome Allen more so than any quarterback I've ever played with. Yeah. Jerome Allen, superstar.
I was gonna say, how is that bond between centre and quarterback, and how's that for you and Jerome?
No, strong. Yeah. Honestly, like I'd learnt so much from him. He'd be quick to call me out if something didn't go right. Yeah. Definitely trusted in me if I saw. There's very little he didn't see, but if he did miss it and I picked it up, then it's something that he'd listen to. We had complete faith in him. Players could come in from the sideline, and Jerome's like, he was always like having an OC out on the field with you. If he saw something better or he liked matchups, that play's gone. He would call something else in. We'd call the protection on the line and bang. He knew how I snapped. He knew if I sometimes snapped to the left, if there was someone over me, then he'd know that. And that's the type of stuff you build when you've played with someone for so long. But shout out every quarterback I've ever played with. Jerome, Nick, Jacket at the Warriors as well.
Yeah, he had a good year one year. I think it was the year Jerome went abroad or something like that.
Yeah, we had Brad, shout out Brad. Brad Thompson came down from up north, played with us that year, and him and Nick took the reins that year. I know in the final, Nick came in and sort of marched us down the field where we won on that field goal. Amazing.
That must have been tough.
Do you know what? It's funny. If you watch the film of the field goal going in, you see one of my teammates, Crow, come and take me out in the celebrations. I'm like celebrating and he just comes back to me out. That was tense. Yeah. But you know what? We hated the blitz so much. I remember watching it back and seeing blitz fall to their feet, helmets being rolled.
Right, yeah.
I was like, yes! Yeah. That's what I want to see.
They made a bad call, didn't they?
Absolutely.
And then...
Absolutely. I don't know if that was purpose. They squib kicked.
Yeah.
I don't know if they meant to or if it was just a bad kick. Yeah. But they done it and they got to hold that L for eternity for that.
Yeah, forever. Because that would have broken the chain.
Yeah. Because we'd won a few then. Yeah. And shout out Ian Jacquet, who made the kick. Yeah. One of the best kickers I've ever seen in person. No matter the pressure. His head is just so... You can't get to that guy. Shout out Mark McGowan, who was the holder on that kick. I'm shouting at everyone because...
These little parts.
It's a game of chess. Yeah. And people don't recognise that. You think... Because you play Madden and you don't have to control... You're not controlling the holder. The snap weren't a great snap on that kick. If you watch it back, McGowan, who's a receiver, so it probably helps, he had to go out and get it and pull it down. And then Ian...
Done his bit.
And then there you go. National champions.
Yeah. Was it the following year that you guys didn't make the final?
Possibly. I think so.
When it was Blitz Tamworth.
Yeah, we went, and I know Obi spoke about this when he was here. Yeah, we lost in the semis to Tamworth.
Yeah. Did you play that game?
I did play that game.
Was that your last game?
Was that my last game? That's a good question. I think so. No, I think my last game may have been my last game was for GB. It might have been my last Warriors game.
Your last Warriors game.
Did I play? Yeah, that was my last Warriors game.
How did that feel? Because obviously Tamworth, new kids on the block, you're thinking we're going to sweep these guys, meet Blitz in the final. How did that feel to have your last game for the Warriors not make the finals?
Yeah, tough.
Did you know it was going to be your last game, by the way?
No.
Okay.
But I think I was slowly falling out of love with it. Yeah. Like, when you
in your heart, you knew.
Yeah, I'd won so much. Yeah. And this is not to sound like nonchalant or arrogant. You've won loads of Prem finals and you've
played.
It's all the same. It gets you start looking at what's beyond. Yeah. So we lost that game. It was a surreal game. Like we just didn't do what we needed to do. Yeah. But I'm not taking away from Tamworth Phoenix. They had an amazing game. Yeah. They played well. They were well coached. Shout out the coach, Jason Scott. He done his job. The players done their job. Yeah. And they won.
Sam said Pat Daly was just a shock. How was it like watching him live? Was it a case of this QB was just doing things that you didn't expect him to do?
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever played with him. I don't think he was at GB when I was at GB.
No. I think that was his breakout year.
Yeah. The concept of a running quarterback wasn't new to us. We played against Fred Boyle.
Yeah.
Shout out Fred Boyle. I don't know him personally. I did play against him, but he's on their offense. I'm on our offense, so we never really had any correspondence with each other. But the concept of a quarterback that could throw and run well wasn't new to us because we'd played Fred and we'd beaten Blitz when they had Fred. So he's just a different type of runner.
It just doesn't go down.
He's just I can't explain it. I can't explain it. He's good, really good player. And do you know what? He's athletic. Yeah. I think that's just it. Yeah. Like what Fred Boyle was doing at the Blitz then, I don't think he was the same kind of athlete Pat Daly was. Yeah. I think Pat Daly played basketball as well. Like maybe I'm making that up, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. He was just an athlete. Yeah. But it wasn't just that. It was the whole team. Their defense was good. They were well drilled.
Yeah, their defense looked really good.
Yeah, we went up to them. You know.
Oh, did he? Did he finish second that year then?
Maybe. No. Yeah, we definitely went up to them. We went up to Tamworth.
Yeah, you probably finished second then because you wouldn't have had to travel.
Yeah. So it weren't a great year. And you know they had their fans there. Like someone was blowing a horn every now and then.
Oh, they had that little vuvuzelas.
Yeah, it was, and I was just like, what's this? So they done everything they needed to do. It wasn't a great way to bow out, but
I'm not sure if you watched that final between Blitz and Tamworth. Then were you surprised at the result with Tamworth winning it all?
No.
Oh, you weren't.
I weren't surprised because I think even how they won it, didn't they win it on like the last play or something like that?
I think it was a pick six. So
Pat
was running. He done his thing on offense, and then I think Blitz for a pick six.
I wasn't surprised because they're a good team.
Okay,
they're a good team, and it wasn't the same Blitz team that we know to be just destroying everyone. Yeah. That Blitz team hadn't won in a little while. Yeah. Like, when I say won, I mean Brit Bowls. I'm not talking. Yeah. So, it wasn't the same coaching. It wasn't the same coach. They had a coach that was winning everything with them. Yeah. I don't think he was there when they had that game. So, and that's not to disrespect the coach that they did have. All the coaches over there on that side are good, are great coaches. But it did not surprise me. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, when you got a team that just wins everything, if they win by less, you're surprised. Yeah. I think it was more so, but it wasn't. It didn't like knock my socks off.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you've had your last game for the Warriors. Did everyone know? Did you make a big thing of it? Was it a case of
no, not at all.
I'm bowing out.
No. I've never been that type of person. I've never been that type of. I told the coaches. After the fact. Definitely played my last game was with GB. I wanted that to be an enjoyable.
Was that emotional?
No, I'm not I'm not emotional like that. Okay. Toxic masculinity 101. Shout out the toxic masculinity gang. Yeah, where you at? I'm not emotional like that. But no, I definitely it was my time. Yeah. I'd done everything I could do playing this game domestically. Yeah. You captain your country, you win games with GB, you win Brit Bowls in the Premiership. I'll just be playing with my health at that point. Yeah. And also you got to move aside and let the young bucks come in and next gen exactly. So.